Are you looking forward to Friday the 13th this week?
Yes, this was my favorite horror movie. It creeped me out when I was younger than this. This is going to be quite scary day.
Well, it's going to be the day that the Constitutional Court will hand down the verdict on whether the ruling Pheu Thai party, by submitting the constitution amendments, has violated the constitution or not.
Yes.
Everyone is waiting for the verdict, and I don't think whatever decision is reached will calm down the country's political fever.
No, either way, it would upset one side of the political divide and then maybe make the other side happy, but there would be one side that would be very upset by the court verdict whatsoever.
And interestingly enough, on that particular day, Prime Minister Yingluck will be in Phnom Penh, no, in Siem Reap of Cambodia. She has been invited by Hillary Clinton to speak to a group of American businessmen who are visiting Siem Reap. On that particular day, in the morning, it will be in the ASEAN foreign ministers meeting with the foreign ministers from dialogue partners such as the United States, China, Korea, Japan. In the afternoon, it will be the U.S. ASEAN Business Council meeting. And Prime Minister Yingluck has been invited to speak on that day.
In the afternoon?
Yeah, in the afternoon. I don't know whether she has accepted it, knowing in advance that it would be the day that the Constitutional Court will come to a verdict or not.
The court announced last Friday that the verdict will be issued on this Friday the 13th.
So probably she had accepted the invitation before. But then it may be a good escape for her.
Right, but if she is speaking in the afternoon, that will be almost the same time that the court starts reading the verdict.
Yes. So she'll be, I think, more interested in what happens in Bangkok than in Siem Reap. But at the proper distance is not a bad idea. So apart from the numbers of Friday the 13th, there's another set of numbers that could become even more controversial.
Right.
If the panel of judges of the Constitutional Court,
there are 8 of them at the moment.
8 of them, because one has pulled out, Kun Charan, Phakdi Thanakul. So that leaves 8 of them. The concern by some people is that if the 8 judges are split right in the middle, 4 against 4, what would happen?
Right, that's it. A lot of people are talking about the moment. A lot of newspapers put that in the front page today. What would happen if it's a 4 against 4? We've tried to do some homework. Still no clear-cut solution to that. But what we have heard is that they will do something in accordance with a law, not a law, a bill, but which has been already in Parliament. Dealing with this kind of scenario. That bill has not been passed yet, but it's possible that they would follow the rules as stipulated in that bill. By that, the judges would try to avoid a deadlock before handing down a final verdict. That each of the 8 judges will have to write their own verdict.
Yes.
And if they know that there's going to be an impasse or deadlock, they will have to avoid that. They have to.
But it's not easy because all the judges are supposed to write their verdict separately, independently.
Not knowing.
They're not supposed to be consulting one another.
Exactly. That's the thing. But this is like, it has been suggested that they have to at least know what you're thinking about.
Well, according to the rule of probability, it is very likely because there are only 2 ways that the judges can come down with. One is yes or no. It's not that there are 10 options. There are only 2 options. Either you think that the complaint against the ruling party is acceptable or not, is valid or not.
Right.
You can throw the case out, or you can say there is a valid reason for consideration.
So the possibility of a 4-4 is very likely. But actually, if you go into details here, the judges will have 4 major points to consider. The first point is whether they have the power to consider this case or not, which of course they have already made the decision.
Right.
The second point is about whether the charter, a brand new charter can be written or not. This is the second one. The third one, the judges will have to make it in case they have already passed the second point. The third point will be about whether the amendment bill is a threat to national security or Thailand political system or not. And if they go down that road and they make a ruling that this is a threat to national security or political system, then they will have to make a decision on the party dissolution,
so
which is very scary.
It is a horror movie, as you said, because it's Friday the 13th, and then 4 against 4 will become a very serious deadlock, and I can't see a way out, because if it's a deadlock, then the judges will have to decide how to get out of the deadlock. And if they vote again, it could become another deadlock. Do you see what I mean?
They could sow the seed for future problems also.
So I hope for the best, and that the deadlock will not happen, and that whatever verdict is handed down will be accepted by at least the majority of the people who are not involved in this recurring conflict.